Hello, my name is Torpid. You may know me from... nothing, I'm not known for anything. Hello, my name is Torpid. I apologize if this video comes off as kind of amateurish, because this is my first time recording a video of myself. I tried recording it by putting the camera on this bench, but I cannot zoom out the camera enough to the point where you could see the whole top half of my head, and I had to put my phone underneath the camera in order to prop it up so it would face upwards and actually record me. After a different strategy, we're looking at this. So today I just kind of wanted to yap for however long about my Colt Python. This is a .357 Magnum double action revolver with a 6-inch barrel. I looked into this gun quite a bit, both before and after I got it, and I can pretty thoroughly describe it as my dream handgun, so I was very happy to receive it as my first ever gun, ever. It was definitely as good as I hoped. I mean, for the price point, you would certainly hope it is a pretty good revolver, and it is. Now, the Colt Python, you kind of have to describe the Colt Python as two separate guns, because there was an older model of the Colt Python and a newer, earlier model of the Colt Python. This is the newer model. And despite the newer model only ever being advertised as an improvement, a modernization of the old Colt Python, at least in the gun community, it seems to be talked about like it's just okay. Like, to people that collect revolvers, the absolute best praise I hear of the newer Pythons is that they are as good as the old ones. Now, I have never shot, and I don't think I've ever even seen an older Colt Python. I don't really know how you could get much better than this. I mean, I've had absolutely no issues at all, at least none that weren't my fault. It's very smooth. There is no sound at all when you're rotating the cylinder. It has a relatively light trigger pull for a revolver. But the older Colt Python is pretty thorough. You can definitely describe it as legendary at this point, with how much use it saw in police use, in self-defense use, in competition use. And I guess that is just because the newer models don't have that credibility to them yet. They're too new to have a lot of trust behind them and a lot of good reputation. But it's still a very solid revolver, at least from what I've seen. The older revolvers, the older Colt Pythons, they saw a lot of use in, like I said, in the police. A lot of police officers carried Colt Pythons before they moved over to semi-automatics. And collectors, a lot of collectors, especially now, are looking for older Colt Pythons. Elvis Presley collected Colt Pythons. Colt Pythons have been described as the Rolls-Royce of handguns, or the Rolls-Royce of revolvers. And that definitely checks out. I would say that title is appropriate for it. Kind of losing my train of thought. But yes, it's a very good revolver. I've only shot about 300 rounds have gone through this, and there are two things that I heard about the Colt Python before I shot it. I looked into it quite a bit. I watched Hickok 45's video about them. I watched Honest Outlaw's video about them. I watched Administrative Results video about them, and the two big things that I was warned about, and they're not even really issues if you really think about it, was one, they get dirty very quickly, and two, you can have timing issues. So basically what that means is, and we are absolutely clear here, okay? We are totally clear. There's nothing in this revolver. Basically what a timing issue is on a revolver is if you pull the trigger a bit and then you let it go, the cylinder doesn't revolve back the other direction to line up again. You've only partially rotated it, but now your finger has completely released the trigger. So that means that next trigger pull, you could have some kind of issue where the trigger gets stuck or the cylinder doesn't rotate. And basically all that really means is you need to go all the way through on your trigger pulls. You need to go again, we're clear, you need to go all the way back and all the way forward. If you want consistent shooting out of a Colt Python or any revolver, you need to go all the way back and all the way forward. And that doesn't apply as much to like semi-automatic guns of any kind, because the length of pull is so much shorter than with a revolver. The trigger has to move a much shorter distance. So it's a lot harder, it's impossible to have a timing issue with a semi-automatic handgun, as far as I know. And that's not really a flaw of revolvers, definitely not a flaw of Colt Pythons. That's just a learning curve if you aren't very experienced with guns like I am. The single action is, of course, like super, super light. Can't really show you that, but yeah. The accuracy I can't really comment on because, for one, I don't really have anything to compare it to. I don't have any other guns. I don't have any other handguns. I can't compare it to another handgun, and I do not aim well. I am inexperienced with actually shooting guns. I learned very recently that you're usually supposed to put the target on top of the front sight post, not like in front of it or behind it. I'm losing my train of thought again. But yeah, the accuracy I can't really comment on, and oh, I didn't even get to the other thing. They get dirty very quickly. Honest Outlaw brought that up pretty soon. We only shot this about 300 times, and there was a noticeable amount of smudge around the end of the barrel. There was plenty of grime around the front half of the cylinder. I shot it only like 30 times before starting this video, and there was already some residue collecting, and there's still some on here. You would probably have to clean a revolver 4 times as often as like a Glock. But I don't really consider that too big of an issue, because if you own a lot of guns, then you probably enjoy shooting guns, so you probably don't mind cleaning them. And if you only have one gun, then you don't have any excuses to not be cleaning it, because it's your only one. So I don't really consider timing issues or needing to clean it often as an actual problem. Neither of those are issues of the gun. Definitely not issues of the Python specifically. I don't really know how to get good close-up footage of this thing, so I'll just take pictures and show you it around here. But yeah, it's a very fun gun to shoot, very smooth. There are tons of options for custom grips, and I might do something like that. I might get like a redwood kind of grip on it. Yeah, seen a lot of police use, seen a lot of concealed carry use even. This is a 6-inch barrel, but you can get it down to 4 inches. I think I've maybe heard something about a 2-inch barrel option. I don't know if that's something yet. Yeah, the shorter barrel options have seen use in concealed carry even, so it's been used by everyone and their dog at this point, and now I have one. There are many like it, but this one is mine. So now that I've yapped for probably 10 minutes, I'll shoot it a little bit. So yeah, I just wanted to throw this together as my first gun video. I definitely like to do more gun content in the future, possibly another one about this gun, definitely about other guns. So thank you for watching.